Well, hello there. Welcome to my clean channel. I wanted to do a video that was maybe a little more wholesome and inspirational this time around. So this takes a little bit of explanation, so let me get into this here. I have a friend who is known around town as the Colorado Captain. He's just this Boy Scout of a human being. He's amazing. And I've been really inspired by a lot of the charity work that he does through this organization called Cap for Kids. Basically what they do is they, number one, they show up and they spread smiles and hope to the kids, and then they also do fundraising so that way they can come up with some money for the families whose kids are in the hospital. So I came across this guy named Hunter Davis who does amazing voice impressions. I think his most famous one that he's known for is doing his Gandalf impression. But I was reading his bio and listening to his reel, and he does an amazing Stan Lee impression as well. So I was thinking about it, and I came up with this idea of, what if I made an inspirational video for an inspirational person, right? And I just became entertained by this notion of who inspires heroes, if you have a hero that's out there inspiring other people, who inspires them, especially if they've had kind of a rough time. And Colorado Captain had a really rough year last year. I mean, he wrecked his bike, he broke bones, but despite all that, he was still out there finishing his charity rides and also still propping himself up next to the voting booth because he wanted people to go out there and turn in their ballots. So I wrote up a script and I gave it to Hunter Davis, and he read it and it was amazing. And so I decided that I had to record the Colorado Captain's reaction video. And in the midst of that, I realized there's actually a whole lot of important questions that people don't ask him. And so I figured I would do kind of an interview with him and then also play this message from Stan Lee, which obviously is not the real Stan Lee, I know that, but it's really magical. So, anyways, stay tuned for that, and I will just see you guys on the backside of this video. Yeah, tell me how you got into doing Colorado Captain and riding around on the streets.
Yeah, so Colorado Captain sort of came about because back in 2014, I was in a motorcycle accident, and I hit my head really hard, and I woke up and I thought I was a superhero. That's not true.
I was gonna go with you on it because it sounded...
So Colorado Captain came about because of sort of a lark. I was back in 2014, I was going back to working for a party company. And sort of like Singing Telegraph, or, hey, go and wish Billy a happy birthday, and, you would go dressed as like a superhero, or, you would accompany a princess or something like that. Well, my background's in musical theater, so I'm an actor, and you do what pays the bills, and also, doing special events for either corporate occasions or even just private birthday parties totally kind of fits in the wheelhouse of helping make a couple extra bucks on the weekends, right? So I was working for this company, and at the time I got booked as American Hero guy to go to the party and wish little Timmy a happy birthday, champ. And so I get suited up, and at the time, still I only have a motorcycle. It's the only vehicle I really owned and still own at this moment. And so I put on this suit, and I strapped a trash can lid of a shield using the belt for my jeans, and I just strapped this shield to my chest and flew down the road at 65 miles an hour, hoping that the wind wouldn't knock me off my bike. So I'm rolling down the road, and the party goes well, and everything's fine. But the whole way there and back, I'm getting honked at, and people are yelling at me. But it only took that first SUV of little kids, the window rolls down, and they're waving at me, yelling, "Hi, Captain America." That was sort of when I started to clue into the idea that maybe I had stumbled upon a responsibility to do something better than this. So I ditched the costume store spandex, and I went out and I started gathering together a professional cosplay of Captain America, and I started going around just trying to do events around Denver. And that was almost 4 years ago that inception sort of happened, and I started rolling around. Well, not very long after that, this party company that I was working with would get booked to go do special events, like with Make-A-Wish or something like that. And the opportunity arose for me to take the hour-and-a-half drive down to Colorado Springs and visit a young man. And I came face to face with this little boy who was fighting cancer, and he had a stiff upper lip and a nickname that fit befittingly, it fit his courage. He had a nickname that was self-imposed, and he called himself the indestructible Jack Flash. And I could not get enough of this kid. He was so cool, and you couldn't get him to smile except for very slightly. He'd be like, yeah, what's up, Cap? The whole time. Meanwhile, he's like fighting cancer, and he's got this party that people are throwing for him, so that everybody can come, and Captain America shows up, and I had a little toy shield, and I engraved his name in there. It said the indestructible Jack Flash, and gave him the shield and everything. And it was just this amazing, incredible event, and I hadn't gotten to do something quite so intimate and one-on-one before, that I would show up to meet this kid. And the dad came up to me when it was time for kind of people to start settling down and moving on to do other things, and I was getting ready to leave, and the dad comes up to me, and the dad says, he's smiling. And I was like, I don't know how to respond to this, because he's staring at me, like he's staring into my soul, and he says, thank you for this. And then I kind of just looked at him back, and I smiled at him, and I said, of course. And he goes, so you do this all the time, right? And I had to look the dad in the eye and say, no, but I'm thinking about it. From that moment on, I went home that night, and I outlined a 4-year mission to get out there and just try and make a difference in any way that I could. That 4-year mission was Cap Across America, and Cap Across America was envisioned as me getting on my bike and riding all over the place, whether that's the Denver metro area or from Denver to Boston and back. I was going to try and champion humanitarian causes and do anything and everything I could to make a difference for these kids who were fighting for their lives every day. And through that, I got in touch with an amazing company called Cat for Kids. Turns out they had been doing this better than me already, but they didn't necessarily have some idiot on a motorcycle driving around to hospitals and visiting them. So I got in contact with Cat for Kids, and I said, hey, Cat for Kids, which is an acronym, by the way. It stands for Cosplayers Against Pediatric Cancer. But it also is very fitting because their founder is a man by the name of Sterling Bailey. And he is their Captain America, and he had this idea to take Captain America and other superheroes to visit kids, whether it's at home or in the hospital, and provide them with this really awesome heroic interaction, but then also on the down low meet with the parents and pay their expenses. And I got in touch with Cap for Kids, and I was like, guys, I really love what you're doing. I don't want to step on your toes. Is it okay if I just kind of go around and sort of champion your cause and let people know about you? And to their credit and my great delight, they allowed me to throw a banner on the back of my my motorcycle and drive around like a madman and tell people about Cat for Kids. So about 2 years ago now, we're moving into our 3rd year. 2 years ago, I launched my inaugural Cap Across America, and I drove to somewhere around 15 states, and I tried to stop at as many hospitals and refugee centers and just important American locales to try and raise spirits, boost spirits and raise funds for Cap for Kids. I ended up resonating with Captain America so much because he fights for the little guy because he was a little guy, and in his head he's still the little guy. I don't have any power. I'm just some guy in a suit. I'm nobody. But you know what I did have was no self-regard for my own personal well-being. And
I'm not sure we should brag about
that. Right. No, but what I had was everything that I am. I'm a big-hearted goof that loves to laugh out loud, and I love trying to make people smile. What point is there to any of this if you're not in it for the laughs, but not your laughs, like the joy of others? I think one of the most profound things I ever said accidentally was that I am made whole in the happiness of others, and that really kind of is at the core of what I do. You'll hear a lot of people saying oh, I'm trying to put some positivity back into the world, and that's good. That's what I'm trying to do. Just in my own weird, costumey, motorcycle riding way. You know, I don't care who you are. If you see Captain America riding down the road on a motorcycle and he salutes you and waves and smiles, you know, you and the kids in your car and the kid inside your heart is gonna like leap for joy because for that moment you got some magic. But as it turns out, it resonated with me so profoundly, not just because he's a superhero, but because he's a good man who's struggling to give his everything to others, and to stand up for what's right. I think that there's something really beautiful about the superhero genre taking off right now in cinema, at least. Comic books especially, they're like superhero characters give you this opportunity to imagine a world outside of yourself, a better world, a better opportunity, a better version of yourself that you can always strive to be. I sort of rediscovered myself when I saw this character of Steve Rogers and Captain America put up on the screen. And to Chris Evans' credit, he did a great job. I I used to think that the idea of a Star-Spangled Superhero was the lamest thing you could possibly imagine. Like, really? This dude wears the American flag and just punches Nazis. Cool, bro. Really original.
Except for it is totally cool.
Except it is totally cool.
I want to ask you, what are some responses that kids give you a lot? Like, what do you
You're not Captain America. No.
Okay, are you serious?
Of course I wear a suit. I ride a motorcycle. Like, literally, you just give them hard logic. Like, kids love to try and catch an adult in like, oh, I got you, you know. But here's the thing. What's, I think, way fun about kids coming up and being like, you're not Captain America, is the opportunity to be like, okay, but tell me why. Like, I want to know, like, what's up, man? Like, you're a smart kid. Like, let's talk, right? Like, if you come down and engage with them on their level, then they're gonna start having a fun time with you. Like, they're not like the only reason a kid's gonna come up and like try and disprove you, or like try and disprove a situation, or be a negative influence in a situation, is because they want to interact and they don't know how. So give them an opportunity to, and that's how I feel about people at large. Give people an opportunity to engage, and they probably will. You know, I thought in 2016, you know, it was my first trip, and I thought I was going to go out there and I was going to be met with, what is going on? Instead, I was met with, dude, why are you doing this? This is so fun. This is great. Like I took a picture of you. Like, what's going on? Yeah. And then that's where the idea of supporting a charitable cause came from. Because if I'm good at one thing, it's, hey, look at me, look at me. But then I thought, wait, what if it was instead, hey, look at me, have you met this charity?
Have you had any adults respond poorly to it at all?
I can't. No.
It's okay if there's a no. That's a great response. If
well, I've had plenty of like poor interactions, but you forget those, you know. I mean, if people are upset with you about something, you just kind of acknowledge them in that moment and move on. I mean, thanks, food service industry. You taught me how to cope with belligerent guests. No, I think that if someone has ever taken an issue with me, it's at the most it's been like maybe that one Denver cop that was like, dude, you can't park here, like you gotta go, like. So no.
And then he's just doing his job.
Right, he's just doing his job. No. Honestly, most people are cool about it, because I think that most everybody deep down wants to believe in something special, and if you can give someone something special that maybe brightens up their day.
Even if it's not real.
You know, you gave them a smile. A smile is worth so much.
Oh, you should seriously keep doing that. Go to the voting ballots. Like, that was amazing.
Funny you should mention that.
Especially with your crazy broken ass angle, which leads to my next question. But go say what you were going to say.
Well, no, so it's funny you mentioned the voting thing. Yeah, so I outlined that 4-year mission of Cap Across America, and the first 2 years I didn't really have like a subtitle, but now I'm going into my 3rd year doing Cap Across America, and this one has a subtitle called Great Divide Ride. Well, year number 4 is 2020. Now, for those of you who you know may not know this, there's a little thing called an election, like a presidential election going on.
I have heard of that.
Yeah, yes. They happen every once in a while, like maybe every 4 years. But you know,
we hide information like that in books.
In books, right? Yeah. So 2020 is coming up, and you. So when you do wear, like, when you're Star Spangly, and you call yourself Captain America, when you cosplay that superhero, there's a certain amount of responsibility that kind of comes with any kind of like election year. And during the midterm elections of 2018, I really felt a profound desire to want to go out and just like make people excited to let their voice be heard. So I'm going to be trying to make sure that people know that Captain America, or at least Colorado Captain, supports voting. So in 2020, that's my plan. I'm going to spend 8 months on the road, and every weekend is going to be spent at one of the 36 states that allow for online voter registration, and I'm going to be offering up my computer. Have a seat, use this computer, register to vote, take a picture with Captain America, and feel patriotic, gosh darn it.
So, I'm right now, I've asked you a couple questions about, like, maybe something bad that happened or things like that, right? Thinking about deterrence, but, like, is it... You've broken a couple of bones. You've messed yourself up pretty good on your motorcycle before. Most people would say that would be enough to quit. So talk to me a little about that. Like, why are you still doing this? Like, you're so injured.
Ouch! No.
I mean, you are.
I'm a glutton for punishment. I can do this all day. No. Here's the cheesy answer, albeit. But I said this once, and it is the truth. Kids that are sick don't get a day off. So neither do I. And that doesn't just go for kids. It goes for any cause that I choose to put my time and energy into. A lot of people may not know this, right? All of my support goes to Cap for Kids, and I'm very lucky that gets to be the case. Cap for Kids is amazing. They inspire me on the daily, and they're the real deal. All of that money goes to helping those families and those kids have a better life because of it. But where all of my financial support goes to Cap for Kids, I also try to promote other important causes. The Syrian refugee crisis really broke my heart. So I got in touch with the International Rescue Committee. I promote them on the regular. I'm working with a gentleman who's trying to do a startup right now, and I encourage everybody to go check it out. Please go check out Heart Crate. And what's in it is what you would normally get in like a Loot Crate, but they call it Heart Crate because it's a care package for these kids who really just need a little bit of extra hope, a little bit of smile put back into their life while they're dealing with some really serious stuff that would bog down even the strongest of us adults. So go check out Heart Crate, for the love of God.
I'll put that below in the comments too.
Please do.
Yeah.
And then, I'm working with Rock the Vote for 2020 election. I'm trying to get in touch with Trans Lifeline because I have been profoundly and positively impacted in my own personal life by trans individuals who are struggling with their own identity right now and finding a place in this craziness called life. The reason why I go out of my way to, I guess for lack of a better word, champion these causes is because people are out there and they're being real life heroes. All I've got is a motorcycle and a suit, but I want to use what I've got to help. Superheroes don't exist, but real life heroes do. And the hero of my own story is the people that I have met by doing these trips, by getting out there and trying to give to others. Martin Luther King had a great quote where he said that if you dedicate yourself to the struggle for human rights, you will make a better person of yourself and a better nation of your country. And you'll positively influence others because what you give out comes back to you tenfold. Captain America. Anyways. It appears to run on some kind of electricity. There we go. Ooh. Incoming message.
Greetings, true believers. Stanley here, broadcasting from the quantum realm with a message for my good friend, the Colorado Captain. Matt, I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of what you're doing. These days, it's rare to find someone willing to share hope with others. But that's exactly what I see you doing. Making kids smile and feel special. Igniting that spark that reminds everyone that somewhere inside each of us is the heart of a champion. You know, a hero isn't just someone who fights bad guys and saves the day. There's someone who inspires others to find the hero in themselves. The work you're doing isn't easy, my friend, but heroes don't do things because they're easy. They do them because they're right. And rest assured, I think what you're doing is amazing. So Godspeed, Colorado Captain, and Excelsior!
What did you do? What did...
It's a message from Stan Lee.
No.
No.
Get the heck out of here.
No, it's not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But did you write that?
I did write it, actually. And,
Christian, that's like the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. What are you doing? You're gonna make me cry.
But the idea is inspiring people who are inspirational.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to inspire you, and I ran across this really awesome voice actor named Hunter Davis, who does a ridiculous Stan Lee impression, obviously.
Obviously.
And I wrote up a little script for him, and so he read it. And now I don't know what Stan would think about what you're doing, but I think I'm close.
I don't pretend to know one way or the other myself.
But
I'm not. This is. I don't have words for what a profound and thoughtful gift this is. I mean, I know. God, you bamboozled me there, young lady. I was freaking out. Yeah, I wish you could feel my heart was pounding. I was like, this is not reality. That was crazy.
But who cares, right?
That was very well spoken. I have a problem. This is gonna sound so silly with my but look, I have this problem with people thinking that what I do is amazing, because what I do is nothing. All I do is try to tell other people that they matter. Nothing can compare to the open and honest hearts that have been shared with me, that you all have shared with me, because I mean, look at me. You've made me speechless in the face of your kindness, and I mean, from Denver to Boston and back, you guys are the heroes of my story, and it's not the other way around. I'm just some guy, and it's moments like this that it's overwhelming to me to think that I could have a profound effect on anyone. I'm gonna listen to this when I go to bed at night. It's fine.
I mean,
I'm a lube.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, the score of Captain America: The First Avenger plays in the background. It's
yes.
fine.
Yes. And then and then it gives you the strength to get up and fight some more. In my brain, when I was writing it, of him saying like, "Oh,
I like that he's from the quantum realm." He goes, "This is Stan Lee coming at you from the quantum realm," and I'm like, "What?" I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Well, and that was my thought too. Is I was like,
this is his cameo in Endgame. Is he's giving me a shout out?
Yes.
Obviously.
Dude,
yeah.
that would be so tight.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, with Endgame coming out and everything coming up, I just thought it'd be a really cool time to put a little bit more Stan Lee onto the universe. And like I said, number one, try to inspire you, but then the idea of other people are going to listen to this, and I hope it makes them feel inspired to, kind of like a one last message from Stan Lee type of idea. So
yeah, look, Stan, for everything that he was, there was one thing that he always wanted to be, which is a great storyteller. And I'm going to sound really lame for using this analogy, but if Stan left a legacy like that, then the takeaway would be that we could do the same by telling stories. So tell the story that you want to see in the world, and do that however you can. I mean, I ride a motorcycle. What do you do? And put that out there, because it's gonna matter to someone. It'll matter to me, especially if I see you on the road. That's usually why I always end every video with a Colorado Captain salute.
Okay, so yeah, we had a blast with that, and I'm going to put links below for everything that that Cap talked about, and all of my channel, well, all of my channels, both of them. But I'm gonna put links below for everything. So for my channels, for the different the charity organizations and everything that Matt talked about, and also for Hunter Davis, since he did such an amazing job on that Stan Lee voice. If for some reason you need something in Stan Lee voice, go on over to his Fiverr account and have him record something for you, because he was clearly amazing. So yeah, I'm just gonna close out this video. Actually, I'm gonna let Cap close out the video, because he's a way better public speaker than I am.
I encourage people to check out my charity. You can find me at coloradocaptain.com, and of course across all of social media. My platforms are usually Colorado Captain, or on Twitter I'm Colorado_Cap. And if you want to know more about it, check in the link down below. Christian's going to make sure that she puts all of my information down there. And while you're looking at that information, you can feel free to like and subscribe this video on her channel, because she puts out awesome videos, and I highly recommend her stuff. And that's what a real American does.